Okay, gamers, the last of the 3 videos I'm going to make today before the new set drops is going to be an Azamina video. This engine is actually broken, and it works really well with Fiendsmith. It also works really well with Snake Eyes. It also works insanely well with Chimera. There's just so much going on here. Actually, the Fiendsmith engine in Chimera is awesome, but I didn't show it in the Fiendsmith video just because Azamina is pretty important as well in Chimera now. So you know, it is what it is. If you want the true Fiendsmith spice of Chimera, you're going to have to check out this Azamina video. But we're going to be looking at Chimera. We're going to be looking at White Forest as well. This is another deck that makes really good use of both Fiendsmith and Azamina. Azamina is quite insane. I'll just put it simply here. Deception of the Sinful Spoils alone is an Omni-Negate thanks to Azamina. This gives you an Omni-Negate Nib Safe early into your combo, and it gives you some engine, okay? So it's very simple. You activate this card, tribute a monster, search your fusion spell. How does this fusion spell work? Well, basically, this fusion spell can summon either of these guys by just sending a Sinful Spoils card to the grave as material. This is pretty insane because then you can shuffle back a monster into your deck to get back the Hallowed Azamina and use it again. So the combo goes that you go Deception, search this, then you activate this, send Deception to the grave. You summon your Arcielago. This card can search Wanted. So you search the Wanted Seeker of Sinful Spoils. Then you use the graveyard effect of Hallowed. You put it back in your hand. And then you activate this. And you would use your Wanted as material. But you can actually chain the Wanted, search Diabel, and then it gets used as material. And you summon an Omni-Negate within 2 summons. It's really crazy. I just broke it down for you. You could end the video right there, but if you want, I'll show you, and there's a lot more to it. I'm going to be showing you White Forest with Azamina and Fiendsmith, as well as Chimera. Hopefully, you enjoy it. We're going to go. We have a couple of replays here, We're going to start off, actually, with the Chimera stuff. I think it's pretty awesome. So let's play this replay here. So here we go. We're starting off with a Mirror Sword Knight, a Fusion Spell, and a Big Wing Baphomet. The hand is really good, and this is a really cool combo because I get to show you how you can actually use Chaos Angel in Chimera to get to your Azamina engine. It's pretty interesting. So we're going to go for it here. We're going to, here we go, summon the Mirror Sword Knight. Mirror Sword Knight, tribute itself. And we can summon out the Gazelle. Normally, I would search a fusion spell here, so I'm just searching a fusion spell to go like normal. Activate Chimera Fusion. We use these two, and we go into Baphomet, King of the Mythical Beasts. Mythical Phantom Beast, sorry. So we go for Chainlink 1, Gazelle, Chainlink 2, Big Wing Baphomet, and we go for Chainlink 3. We go for this one. I should have probably went Chainlink 3 on the Big Wing, but whatever. Pay attention to what I'm sending here, okay? This is pretty cool. So with the Baphomet, we're going to send to the grave a Evil Hero Sinister Necrom. This card is Fiendsmith combo in the grave. It is Fiendsmith. I'll just show you later, okay? It's pretty cool. So anyway, we get to summon out our Mirror Sword Knight from the grave here, and we want to search our Apprentice from the deck with our Gazelle. So now we're going to go for the graveyard effect of our fusion spell, add it back to hand. We can discard Imperm to summon out the Nightmare Apprentice. Apprentice is going to search a new card, the Azamina Elzet, which this card is amazing. So this card summons itself for free. You can reveal this card in your hand, special summon 1 White Forest or Azamina monster from your hand. Just point blank, special this card from your hand for free. It's insane. And then during your main phase, you can fusion summon 1 Azamina fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material. So it is a poly for Azamina monsters. And if this card is sent to the grave as synchro material, you can add 1 Sinful Spoils card from your deck to your hand. Any Sinful Spoils card. Pretty insane. So at this point, we're going to add this. We can activate its effect, special summon it, use its effect to fusion, and we're going to fuse our Mirror Sword Knight as well as our Baphomet into Azamina Moa Regina. This is a level 8 Azamina monster. Its quick effect is not that crazy. It can come up, but it's not the best thing ever. But it is really good value because this card can just bring back the Mirror Sword Knight from the grave. It special summons an illusion from the graveyard. And then we can use our level 8 and our level 2 to go into a Chaos Angel. Obviously, you don't use the effect to banish here. The whole reason we're doing this is really just to synchro away the LZ so that we can search our Deception. So that way we can bridge it to Azamina. So we go for Deception, and now I'm going to show you the Deception combo. So keep in mind, again, when you activate Deception, this is a 2 summons Omni Negate. It is so easy to do. So here we tribute our Chaos Angel because it doesn't really serve a purpose in Chimera, honestly, other than bridging the gap here. So we go Deception, tribute Chaos Angel, add the Hallowed Azamina. Then we can activate Hallowed Azamina, use our Sinful Spoils here as material to summon the Mu Arcielaga, whatever, however you say that. Add the Wanted from deck to hand, then trigger the Hallowed Azamina in grave. We can shuffle back the LZ from the grave into the deck and add it to our hand. Then we can just go for Hallowed Azamina again, but we chain Wanted, add the Diabell Star to our hand here. So we add Diabell Star, and then we get to send the Wanted to the graveyard. So send the Wanted to the graveyard and summon out a big ol' Omni Negate. This is Azamina Ilia Sylvia. And yeah, it's just straight up an Omni Negate. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, tribute this card, negate the effect. It doesn't negate the activation, which actually sometimes can be useful. Under Branded Lost, it would work. Hey, that's pretty good. So anyway, now we can go for the graveyard effect of Necrom, since we're protected by a negate, and it summons out the Dusted Gold from the deck, which is a Light Fiend. And then we can go into Fiendsmith Requiem. So Fiendsmith Requiem, quick effect, summon out lacrima. You already know what it is at this point, right? Lacrima, sent to the grave, an Engraver, and use these two here. We go into a Beatrice. Beatrice, we can send the, well, we'll do it later, I guess. Here we can equip, oh yeah, that's pretty important. Here we can equip with Fiendsmith Requiem to lacrima, and then send the equip back to the grave to summon out our Diabell and get some value from Diabell here. So normally with Diabell, I'd be setting this card right here, the Morian, but I mean, I have it in hand, so we're just going to set a Deception here instead. Either way, I set Morian just to illustrate that, and now we're going to go into our Fiendsmith sequence. Then we can use a graveyard effect of Wanted to get a draw before we shuffle back materials. We draw into Mirror Sword Knight, activate the new copy of Deception for funsies. I use the effect of Beatrice. I'm just sending the Diabells so that on opponent's turn, I can summon it back. And now we can go ahead and use Engraver in the grave, shuffle back our Link, summon the Engraver, and we're going to activate our Chimera Fusion using those two guys to summon a Lacrima. Look, I'm just kind of pressing my buttons here at this point. Lacrima, you know, summon back our Fiendsmith sequence. Fiendsmith sequence, use 3 materials to summon Desiree. Yeah, I don't know. I just did this to show that you could do it, but it's not necessarily super useful other than getting an extra material for like Chimera Fusion, you know? I really just was like, hey, an extra body can be useful, even though Lacrima is kind of a dead body on field. Just in the sense of just having Chimera Fusion, it's kind of nice to have like an empty body that I can use for like Guardian Chimera or something like that, you know? So that was the main reason I went for this line. I just thought it looked cool also. But anyway, here, you know, we pass turn. On opponent's turn, we can go for Beatrice and send to the grave our, what's his name again? Master Tau, and just bring back our Diabells. And then we can go for Mirror Sword Knight, summon Gazelle. Gazelle can search Fusion Spell because I'm only running 1 Baphomet in this deck. And yeah, I mean, look, man, this board is crazy. They can't set spells, well, they have to set spells and traps before activating them. We have so many interruptions here, so I'm going to use one of my Omni Negates on this Tremendous Fire. They're going to set a card and activate Dark Room of Nightmare. I'm like, that's fine. Here they're about to pass, so I'm going to activate my Guardian Chimera. I don't know why I didn't use a Fiendsmith Lacrima, but whatever. Either way, we're going to go for a Guardian Chimera here and the Gazelle effect. Guardian Chimera gets to draw, pop a couple of cards. You know, simple shit, simple shit. We get to add a card to hand, do a little bit of burn, activate it. Here I'm just, okay, yeah, at this point I just start showing all my interactions. Yeah, so, you know, I have the Book of Moon effect. I can summon back Necrom with the Baphomet Grave effect. Now we summon Lacrima, use these two, go into Evil Zora Lars. I'm just pressing all my buttons here, just showing you the amount of gas and follow-up this has. So now we can reset our Morian since we control a high-level monster. I special out the Apprentice. Apprentice can search a Cole. We go for Chimera Fusion, make ourselves a Chimera King of the Phantom Beast, Chimera King of the Phantom Beast trigger, and then we add back our Fusion spell, activate Cole, add a Mirror Sword Knight, go for Hallowed Azamina. Again, because they shuffle back, you can use it again. Search a Deception. Then we go into our Magnum the Reliever. We activate our spell here, go Magnum the Reliever to pop our own equip. But our equip activates in the grave, so we can just equip it back and get back our Omni Negates. Now we shuffle back to get a draw, and we go for a game. I was just showing follow-up there, just showing options. But it's pretty crazy, dude. It's a pretty crazy build for Chimera. I'm just saying, man. If you guys like Chimera, Might be a good time to pick them up. I mean, honestly, I think they might be low-key top tier in this upcoming format. Now, of course, the new LZ Azamina card is a White Forest, so we got to play White Forest here, right? So here I'm going to show you a Nib Safe, droplet safe-ish line that sets up 3 Omni Negates and Dweller. And by the way, Dweller is going to be very important in this upcoming format because Dweller kind of shuts down Fiendsmith, which is pretty important. So anyway, we're going to go here for Deception of the Sinful Spoils. We tribute our Toy Tank since we have Toy Box in hand, and we get our Hallowed Azamina. Hallowed, send the... We already did this. You already know what it is. You know, we go Arcielago, add the Wanted. We go for the Graveyard effect of Hallowed, shuffle it back. Now we can activate Hallowed, chain the Wanted. You got to make Wanted your chain link too so that you get, you know, both the search and to use it as fusion material. So now we use our spell as fusion material, and we can special summon out our Omni Negate. And keep in mind, the setup is even better because you also get a free draw later with your Wanted. I don't recommend using that draw early because, you know, you probably want to get as much engine out of your deck before getting that draw to, you know, make it so you maybe draw into a hand trap or something. But yeah, so not only does it do all that, I get to an Omni Negate plus a draw. It's kind of crazy. Here we go. Keep going. We activate our Toy Box, you know, set up a couple of our dudes. And I'm going to fast forward a little bit here because we're doing basic White Force stuff. So Sylvie, add... Oh, actually, no, we probably do want to show this. So we go LZ, send to the grave a Toy Soldier. Toy Soldier is going to come back. And what we search with our LZ is the other LZ, this one right here. Not as necessary since we already got into our Azamina engine, but it's still a useful level 2 that special summons itself. It's just really, really good to have in White Forest. So anyway, here we go. Summon the Toy Soldier. Toy Soldier can add Rusia to our hand. And yeah, we're about to pop off kind of crazy. So here we can summon out the Azamina LZ of the White Forest, go into Arciela, and we get the search of Arciela by sending Toy Tank, and we also get to search a Sinful Spoils card because our LZ Azamina was used as a synchro material. So we get to add Deception with her, and then with her we get to add our Azamina Unleashing, which is treated as a White Forest card, by the way. So you can search it as a White Forest spell / trap. And this allows you to bounce cards on the field up to the number of Fiend, Illusion, and Spellcaster, Fusion / Synchro monsters that you have, not only on the field, but also in the graveyard. So it's actually really easy to get this thing to bounce like 3-4 cards. It's kind of crazy. So anyway, Toy Tank comes back from the grave here. We use these two and we go straight into Baron just to get some nice protection here. And now we're going to go and summon out our Rusia. Rusia effect can send that trap to the grave to get a draw because the trap will just set itself again like any White Forest trap would. And now we can go into our level 8 Diabel here. I'm going to use Diabel plus the LZ to go into my Moon. So actually the reason I did this, because it might seem kind of pointless to summon Diabel there, it's really just so that later in my turn I can use both the Rusia and the Sylvie effect and make a rank 4 because I want to make Dweller for sure. It's just really good against, it's going to be really good against a lot of decks in this upcoming format. So that's the reason actually. I just wanted this card in the grave, so I made it before going into my, my Moon of the Closed Heaven. But now we have Moon. So we can go ahead and play some Fiendsmith, right? So we go into our Link 1 Tribute, summon lacrima sent to the Grave Engraver. Then we get to, oh, yeah, we get to do the cool shit again. We equip the Link, you know, and send it to the grave to summon Diabelstar. Diabelstar trigger, get to set Morian. So, you know, that's 2 really strong interruptions right there in the back row. Now we get to go ahead and use these 2 to link into our sequence. We can go for, you know, the graveyard effect of Wanted at this point. It's a good point, by the way, to go for it because sequence to fusion summon will shuffle back the materials. And so to make it so you don't draw into your Fiendsmith pieces, you know, it's better to go for the draw right now, I would say. So there we go. We drew into an Emperor, and that's really good. And now I can summon out the Rusia. I can activate Sylvie in the grave, shuffle back Diabel. So we have these 2 over here. Then we can fusion summon using 3 materials. Summon our big Omni Negate guy. That's right. Desiree hits the board. And we can go for our Abyss Dweller. So it's about that simple. We go for our Link's effect on the field here to equip it to our Desiree. So now Desiree, you know, can Omni Negate 2 cards on the field at once, up to 2 cards. We have Dweller. We have Azamina Ilya Sylvia, which is an Omni. This is also an Omni. And more importantly, this is kind of droplet safe. So I say kind of. It's not actually droplet safe, but I'm just saying that in the sense that it's not all the time, and it's actually more rare that people will go droplet and discard traps for it. Usually, most of the time, people are discarding spells that they don't need or monsters that they don't need when they use droplet. I'd say that's the vast majority of the time. If they don't discard a trap, you can activate the Sinful Spoils of Slumber Morian on your own Dweller, and then just chain Dweller. And then they won't be able to negate Dweller with their droplet. And you can also use Desiree, and you can actually negate the droplet. So you kind of have a way to play around droplet. It's not foolproof, it's not perfect, but most decks run way more monsters and spells than they do traps, right? So it's still really, really good. I think at least that it's really, really good. With that being said, that's about it for this one. I guess I'll show you the lists if you want to like copy them quickly when the cards come out in Master Duel. And I don't have much more videos to do today. I am going to be doing a Goblin stream tonight for the new set. I'm staying up pretty late so that I can go to bed, you know, pretty late and be awake when the cards come out. And again, these are not dedicated deck profiles. Like I won't be talking about these for super crazy long. But if you want to copy a list early before I make a dedicated deck profile for Master Duel, this is definitely like a good starting point, I would say. By the way, Toy Engine, not necessary at all. I am just very biased towards Toy Engine. I invested in this piece of shit engine. It's really good when it pops off, but sometimes it can clog up your hands. I would say it's probably objectively worse to play it, but I'm playing it because I really like it. So you don't need it. It's expensive. I get it. You don't need this engine in the deck at all. But I do think, other than that, I think this is a good starting point if you want to play White Forest, Azamina, freaking Fiendsmith, Bestial Slop, okay? If you want to play Chimera, I also think my list is quite good here. It's a 45 card list, but there's so much gas going on here that I don't think that's really an issue. This deck won't be struggling as much as it used to, you know, being like super dependent on its normal summon. You'll be a lot better now at baiting out Interruption. The whole play with like sending the Necrom to the grave, like the evil hero Necrom, and then summoning the Adusted Gold is just so awesome. You can also search Necrom from your deck with Gazelle, actually. Like this card can literally just search Necrom. So if you already have the fusion spell in hand and you just want to set up Fiendsmith plays, you can normal summon Gazelle, search Necrom, activate Chimera Fusion, and then like later in your turn, you can just activate Necrom from your grave. You don't even need to send it with your Baphomet, which is pretty cool. But yeah, if you wanted to copy the lists, there they are. You know, feel free to copy them. That's going to be it for me, though. I need to get some sleep. So yeah, see you if you watch the stream and when the update drops. Yeah.